Greetings, fellow humans. My name is Alistair Lord and I am the Renaissance Yorkshireman. So in the last video that I made, I spoke a little bit about Anapanasiti, mindfulness with breathing, and I described it as a form of one-pointedness meditation. Now this is true, but it's not the only way that you could categorize mindfulness with breathing. So in the Buddhist tradition, it's normally categorized as a form of Vipassana. What does Vipassana mean? So Vipassana means insight meditation. Insight into what, you may ask? So insight into the true nature of reality. What does that mean? Okay, well, before we get into the true nature of reality, which, let's face it, is a pretty big topic, it's a good idea to compare and contrast the goals with another form of meditation, which is creative visualizations. Now, I do quite a lot of creative visualizations, and I'd like to give you two examples, one from an external source and one from my own life. So, creative visualizations are absolutely bog standard in sports science now. So if you study sports science at university, or if you hear professional athletes talking about the field that they compete in, then they will make reference to visualizations and particular kinds of mental exercises that they do. So I'm going to use David Beckham as an example because I'm of a particular generation, and there was a point in my life when I was living abroad and I used to watch a lot of Premier League games and England games, and I'm a Man United supporter, which was great then, not so good now. And David Beckham was quite famous for his free kicks. Now, if you've ever seen David Beckham, or indeed any professional footballer who takes a lot of free kicks, you'll notice that they approach it in a particular way. So you'll see David Beckham or any other footballer. They look at the ball, they look at the feet, they look at the ball, they look at the goal, they look at the ball, they look at the goal, and in their mind they are running a particular script. Although in this case, script is perhaps not the correct description. It's more like they're running a mini film in their mind. And the film is of them running up, kicking the ball, and the ball going in the net, and they score a goal. Because the objective is to score a goal. So there's different ways that they can do this. They can run the whole thing in one go. They can break it into little chunks. But the point is, the goal of that type of visualization is to score in a game of football. So that has a specific goal, the goal being to score a goal. Now, in my own life, I've used a lot of different types of creative visualizations for different purposes. So in my own case, I think it was around 2009, 2010, I built an inner sanctum in my mind. So this is a psychic structure, let's say, that exists in my mind, that's based on some places that exist in geographical reality. And I go there to dialogue with different aspects of myself. So sometimes I go there to dialogue with my inner child, for example. And the reason that I do this is for healing. There are other purposes as well, sorting out particular questions in my head, but the main goal is for psychological healing, let's say. So in the case of the sports science visualization, the goal is to win matches by scoring more goals than the other team. And in the case of dialoguing with my inner child, the goal is personal healing, psychological healing. But in the case of Vipassana, the goal is to become enlightened by seeing into the true nature of reality. Now, there's different levels that you could understand this. And the simplest level is that it's related to the human condition. And in Buddhism talks a lot about how all states are temporary and that everything is in flux, that everything changes. So through this insight meditation, in the case that I'm talking about, mindfulness with breathing, where you are focusing on the breath to the exclusion of everything else, you are kind of realizing a universal truth about the nature of reality, and that is that it is transitory. Now, there are side effects of this, and some of the side effects are things like better mental health, better concentration, better memory, but the ultimate goal is to become an enlightened human by realizing the true nature of reality. And as I say, the simplest way we can understand this is about human life, and we all know that everything changes. Now, in the past, I was a child, and so were you. We were all children at one point. And we can see that things change. If you're a man like me, after I've shaved, I look one way, and if I'm growing a beard, I look a different way. So we know intellectually that everything is transitory, but the point of Vipassana meditation is to realize this in an experiential way rather than simply in an intellectual manner. There's also other ways we could understand this that are more related to quantum physics, but I don't really want to get into that because, then you're in realms that certain people would consider woo-woo. And actually, meditation is primarily about everyday practicalities, how to live your life in a responsible manner and being true to yourself. Thank you for giving me your time today, and remember, wherever you go, there you are.